Okay. Recording in progress. So we like to do these webinars from time to time as an exclusive thing for our sister groups, and this is for our AoG Journaling Club. I'm glad that you guys are all a part of it. And we have today Sharon Saraga Walters, who wrote the book and actually wrote the entire challenge for us this month, because while it is based on her book, The 28-Day Gratitude Workout, the prompts, the actual prompts in the book, Sharon felt strongly about wanting to tailor them specifically for our community, which is very, very generous. Julia likes that. Hey, everybody, thank you for being here. Let me see, can I pin? All right, now, can I pin me too? Okay, that's better. Great. Sharon, can you see everybody on the side screen still? It's me and you, but everybody on the side screen.
Let me see something. I'm going to try and let me do this view thing differently. Let me try that. All right, let me go. Are you in gallery or speaker?
I think I'm in gallery.
I'm in. Let me try
this.
Okay,
Thanks,
let me do that again differently. So I've got, let me do that again differently.
It's okay. You don't need to worry about it. I have it. So we've got Nadine, Terry, Suzanne, and Julia and Fran with us right now. Thank you guys for being here live. We're going to spend the next hour with Sharon talking about the challenge so far this month. We're not even halfway through. And we would love to hear from you guys if you have thoughts and you want to add them. We really would like to make this interactive today, not just Sharon and I talking. We want to hear your experience so far, perhaps answers to the questions. If you're just joining us, I had just said that Sharon, the book is, or the challenge is based on her book, The 28-Day Gratitude Workout, which came out 2016, I think we just found, right, Sharon?
Yes.
And while it's a wonderful book, and if you look in the chat, I've got a link to the book in the chat if you want to purchase the book. If you have a Kindle, it's actually free on Kindle Unlimited right now if you have Kindle Unlimited. She also has a course on, how do you pronounce it? Udemy? Udemy. Let me share this screen that you can sign up for, which I've also put the link up, the 28-Day Gratitude Workout. And she dives more into the book, a very intensive look into the book. It's I'm signed up, I've taken it. It's a wonderful course with video and all of that. So anyway, let's start with Sharon. Thank you so much for being here with us today and offering, uh-oh, did I lose you? Did I log myself out? Am I still here?
You're still
okay.
There.
I can't find, oh, there I am. Thank you so much for being here. No links in the chat. Julie says, let me redo it again. Hang on.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, I'm just grateful to be, thank you so much. Gosh, Lauren, and thank you all for being here. I am just, I got to first start off just saying I'm so thrilled that the book has been, offered to you in the journaling club. I never had done it, thought of it as the club, as the journaling club as it is, and I'm loving it. I love redoing it a little bit to tweak it so that you can answer it. And I just, a couple things that come to mind. One is you all are amazing writers. I've just been stunned by your writing, number one. And also just your sharing. I'm so moved with it. I've been reading it as I've been writing my own. I've really enjoyed participating with you all in this process, because it so amazes me how, and I'll go back further about the book, how I did it, but just amazes me how every time I do it, we're different in every moment, every day. So our answers and what we write about are always going to be different. So I have just really enjoyed participating with you all, and it's just been a treat for me. It really has.
We've been talking about doing this for several months, you and I. For those of you, actually, let's start from the beginning first and not assume that everybody has seen you. You've been on my broadcast a few times, and Women of Gratitude Live Virtual Roundtable. You're one of the panelists. So Sharon and I have become friends. She is the founder of Gratisize 365. But why don't you start back and tell us what exactly you do and how you got started in all of this?
Sure. So, my whole background, I've really been into the past 40 years. I've been into fitness and personal growth. And in that personal growth journey, I really found gratitude being the strongest source for me of what really made a difference in my life. For me, gratitude was like I don't know, it just struck a deep chord in myself, in my heart. And what amazed me is how quickly I could shift by using gratitude. And I know I know I'm speaking to everybody that knows this, but it was really what stuck for me to really choose gratitude to be one of the main sources for me to really continue living my life the best I could and to grow. So with my fitness training background, and then also with the gratitude piece that really, I say those are my superpowers, the exercise and gratitude. And it came to me, I thought, gosh, I need to really come up with some exercises. By the way, I should also say that Rhonda Byrne, who wrote the book, The Magic, she was inspiring to me too. She has a book, it's 28 different exercises, but different ones, but it wasn't around the fitness aspect of it, but she really opened my eyes up to how much I was taking for granted. And that's really why the book came to be. So I wrote out 28 different, as you see, they're really, in my opinion, they're really simple exercises that we don't really think about often, but they're there present in our lives all the time. And just to be able to work, to have these simple exercises, I think it really, it woke me up to a lot of different things to be grateful for.
It's funny you say that because, we met yesterday, you and I, just to talk about today. And we were talking about, recommending books to people who are looking to get into gratitude. And it really is, they run the gamut. There's so many. So it's tough to recommend one book because something's going to touch everybody differently, right? There isn't one book that's like, you've got to read this one, you'll get into gratitude, because everybody's got different interests, right?
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely. And I think that just exploring the books that are out there, and I appreciate everybody here that's exploring this one. And I think, and we'll find out today, and I think that you'll take different things from it as other books that you're drawn to down the road, because we're in a time right now that there are so many books on gratitude to choose from. I do think mine's a very unique spin on it, but that's who I am. And I took what I am interested in and how I lived my life and based it on the exercise and gratitude.
Yeah, I remember the first time I reached out to you. I was asking you I wanted you to be on the show because I thought you were going to talk about exercise. And I knew there was a gratitude component, but I knew you married the two, but in a much different way. So it was, I don't want to say a pleasant surprise, because I would have liked the other way too, but this book really is, it's not just a book that asks you, what are you grateful for today? In a lot of blank lines, you get into, like day one, make someone's day. You have a quote, you've got, different steps, and then you've got explanation, like a really in-depth explanation. So, and if you guys came in late, I was sharing that while the book is wonderful, Sharon felt strongly about tailoring this book to you guys, to our community, because not everybody can get outside and take a walk in nature, for example. There's one prompt, was it yesterday? We talked about
2 days ago, I think. Yesterday was
walking in nature, and you were really just so thoughtful in opening your mind to those of us, to everybody's abilities, and what we're able to do and what we're not able to do.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that one, for instance, of that one about the nature, and I not even this group, but I've seen it in general. People that just can't get out, people in nursing homes and all kinds of things that that I liked a lot too. If you can't be outside, that I love posting pictures of nature. And not like going, oh, look at me. Look at all these pictures that I've seen in nature. No, it's about sharing those with you. It's like looking at, I want you to enjoy pictures of nature and pick which ones you want. I love that engagement to be able to do that.
And that's what we aim for, not only in a regular AoG, but here in our journaling club. And you've seen that people, our members get very excited, and they are fantastic writers, all of you. You guys, please feel free to, either speak, interject where you want, or if you would like to put something in the chat, I'm happy to read it for you. But we really want to hear from you what your experience has been so far. If you found any surprises, in your answers that perhaps, things you hadn't thought about before. But we really want to make this interactive and hear from you. This is not just a talk between Sharon and I. We want to get you involved. So please feel free. There's no pressure to do this, but if you would like to, we would love to hear from you.
And any questions too, of any sort, please. Feel free.
So this wasn't your first book.
No, this was my first book.
This was this was your first one, and then the Tuesday's note was after that, or Thursday's note. Tuesday, Thursday seemed to. So what was, other than you loving exercise and gratitude, what prompted you to say, I'm going to write a book? You had a very clear vision about what you wanted.
Well, I don't know. I guess for me, it was just the whole idea to bring my two loves together and seeing the impact. And I knew that I wanted to practice gratitude because I knew, I was honest with myself, how I really had taken things for granted. And at first I'm like, wow, I was surprised about that. So then having a way to, I said, I want to not take things for granted anymore. So to bring the exercise piece with my gratitude, and I got to work on appreciating things, it all just kind of culminated together into this beautiful thing that really, it was a no-brainer for me. I just loved it. I really did. And I did it for quite some time before I actually got the book out, and I saw the changes and the results for me. So it was kind of, I guess, selfish a little bit, but then I wanted to get out into the world.
No, not selfish at all. Suzanne, you have your hand raised. Do you have something you'd like to add?
Unmute. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Sharon put an exercise the other day. Thank you. I got up this morning. Thank you. I talked to my friend. Thank you. And honestly, I can hardly even tell you about it without crying, because to me, those two words, thank you, it just overwhelmed me with a gratitude. So I have to tell you that before I really start having a rainful of tears, but just something that simple. So Sharon, thank you, Sharon, and thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Suzanne. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Suzanne,
I love when I don't want to say I love when people cry. I don't want to see anybody in pain, but that kind of crying, it's beautiful. And I think it just shows that you've got, you speak with all your heart. But Sharon, what do you think?
Yeah, no, Suzanne, thank you so much for that. Because, here's the beauty of today too. I don't really get to hear from people what they get from the exercises. And I just appreciate that so much. And I couldn't agree more with you, because that word, thank you, it is a thing for me too, that brought that deeper for me of gratitude. And the other thing I do, I don't know if we've gotten to this or what, but I do a walk, or so one example of that is I take a walk, and all I do on my walk is I say, thank you. And then sometimes, many times, things will come through. I don't force it, but things come through that I can give gratitude and thanks for. And the other thing I want to share too about this thank you is that when I my wake up, when I wake up in the mornings right now, and it changes all the time, but right now when I wake up, the first thing I do is say thank you, and that gets me just really ready, just in charge and in touch with my gratitude, just by using those 2 words. So I can't agree with you more with that. It's beautiful, and you know, and the tears are just beautiful too. I mean,
Yeah.
I myself have lots of them at different times, and I really, when they come, I say thank you when those tears come.
Oh, there's something else you do in the morning, which you shared on the first broadcast. Other than thank you, what else do you do?
Yes, and I am doing that. That's my other thing right now. So right now my wake up is, I wake up in the morning and I say thank you. And then the next thing I do is I hug myself. I give myself a hug. Totally do that. I do that every single morning. And right now, and also then after that I go to right now it's my my wife and my family, but it could be your friends. As I'm holding myself, I'm then sending gratitude and love and thoughts to all those people. And it is so powerful. And that's really my thing that I'm doing right now. Are those 2, a few more things, but those 2 are really, they're amazing.
Powerful. Fran, I see you have your hand raised, but we have something in the chat from Julia that says, Sharon, maybe you can make a second version of your book with the new prompts for people like us. Just an idea. I think that would be great to have. I'm working on a gratitude journal for people with chronic pain and illness personally. But Sharon, what do you think about, you know, doing something like that? Like in this process, I see we talked about it yesterday. Your eyes have been a bit open to the challenges that people with chronic pain and illness have. How has redoing your prompts been for you? Has it been challenging?
Or who are you asking that question?
Yeah, I'm asking you. So you've tailored the prompts from your
it
book.
wasn't hard. No, I mean, I didn't tailor it. The only, and I honestly, well, okay, 2 things here. One is I tailored it in the writing part of it, mainly for the writing, for the journaling aspect.
Right.
Because in my book, it's more experiential, it's more thinking. There is some writing, but it goes more experiential also. So, so it really was, that part really was not anything at all. You know, the other part, I honestly, I guess that I just went broader in some areas, and the broader, it wasn't like, I don't know, it's a good question about that, how I felt, because I didn't tweak it so much from the book. Maybe in my responses when I shared, I'll have to, you know, it's I'm gonna have to
just
look
a
back
couple
at
things, like the one today is about, you know, a new restaurant you want to try, and I think you added or takeout, right?
Yeah, so right, so that
yeah.
one, exactly. I said, I did think ahead when we were doing that about takeout, because, you know, sometimes people may not be able to, or may not want to eat in the restaurant, those kind of things. And but it
And I did see a couple of responses from people today saying they haven't gone out in years.
Yeah.
Part of that might be code, part of that might be, you know, our conditions, but yeah, I really like, it was very thoughtful, the extra work that you did for this challenge.
Yeah, you know, and that, you know, here I was sharing this with, you know, the other time. Here's the beauty too about gratitude, and you all and Lauren certainly know this. You know, when you're in that state of gratitude, you simply look at things, and it comes easier to me to just extend and change that up, like really, really easily. So it really wasn't, it wasn't hard, because you're coming from your heart, you know, so you're looking at different situations and people and scenarios, and that's life. There's all kinds of scenarios out there and situations. So yeah, it was easy, and it was, it felt good to give another way to include everyone. That's the thing. I'm real big on just finding all kinds of ways to include everyone.
Inclusive, yeah, for sure. Fran, so you've got your hand raised.
Oh, thank you so much. This is just wonderful. I'm so grateful that the prompts were tailored for us because so often things are not tailored for us. Let's just be honest right out.
Mhm.
And it makes me, I'm smiling as I'm talking because that feels so good that someone would take the time to include me. I mean, the word exercise always made me feel less than. So I can remember, oh boy, well, I'm going to tune into this broadcast and we'll just see how it goes because Lauren's doing it. And, you know, you always have fantastic guests. And I felt okay. And honestly, I'm still not doing those morning hugs because it's a physical challenge and an emotional challenge. But I have that seed inside me, you know, and I do say thank you. And I'm so grateful because I can look out my window and see the weed tree and appreciate it. Very sad that there's no longer an apple tree within my vision, but you know, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. That's what we have. You know? So I'm grateful for that. And it's grown really big beyond weed size. So
I love, now that song's going to be in my head all day. I love that song.
good. I do too. And that I don't have to be afraid to write because here, whatever I write is okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be spelled properly or grammatical, or it can just be some stream of consciousness thing that comes right out of me. There's no right or wrong, and that's a huge gift. So I'm really, really grateful. Thanks everybody for being here and giving to all of us.
Wow.
Thanks, Fran. You make me
Yeah, that's
cry.
awesome.
That like totally choked me up.
Yeah.
Interesting that exercise made her feel less than. I can totally see that.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Fran, because I love that. And again, I love the feedback that I'm hearing here because I really never thought about how the exercise word, what that could be for some people. So thank you for that. And yes, because it isn't a lot of exercise. It's more using your mind and writing and thinking, that kind of thing.
I think it's the word, you know, we hear the word and it's just
right.
like we run the other direction.
Yeah, so I really love that. And because some people are disappointed that it's not much exercise, but I love, Fran, your interpretation, what you said about it, how it's comfortable for you. You know, you could try this out. So I love that. The other thing, because things just always come to my head when people share. So here's what happened. So Fran, one thought that came to my mind was when you were talking about the hug, I wonder if it felt comfortable or not right for you. This is just a suggestion, I don't know. But even if you just placed your hand on your heart when you wake up in the morning, just the thought is what came up for me about that. If that feels right or comfortable for you, just, you know, just give that some thought. And the writing part, so let me be truly full and authentic here. I write whatever comes through to me. And thank goodness to my wife and to Lauren, who has to edit all my stuff because I'm not.
That's not true.
But I love it because I just get to just write and as all of you, because a lot of you from what I've read, wow, you're quite gifted and you are beautiful writers. And those of us that aren't so, we have to have it edited a little bit. And I don't have, no one's edited my stuff, so the grace is there, but it comes from the heart, and you know, and that's what gratitude brings to us. We're all writing from our heart, so it's gonna come out great.
For sure. Yeah, I love the hand on the heart thing. And Fran, I mean, you just moved me with the word exercise made you feel less than. That's something I'm going to carry with me for sure. I was talking with Sharon yesterday again, and she was very interested with, on a side note, when I told her how difficult showering can be. She wanted to find out more. Like, she genuinely interested in finding out why showering can be difficult for people like us and why it can be a monumental thing. So I explained to her, you know, the physical challenges and all of that. So Sharon really took this very seriously. Not only did she tailor the prompts, but she wants to see them before they go up. She wants to make sure they are the best prompts for this group. And I just think that's so beautiful and so, humble of you. And the fact that you're taking part in the challenge yourself, I think is really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the things around that, I mean, because I've been, for 40 years, I've been in, wellness. I've worked with fitness, massage. I see clients all the time of all kinds of nature. So, I've always been wanting to know. I always, with my clients, I always have to get an idea of where they're coming from, and they're all so that's always been my nature, is knowing, to find out where people are. And I also have a way with just honoring that, but also seeing many different ways of who they are. I see the best of them, I guess, always, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I just want to share again, for anybody that joined us late, not only, of course, is the book available, but Sharon also offers, I meant to do this bigger, this class on Udemy. All right. Are you seeing like a whole bunch of things on the screen? I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so the link I put in the chat, if you'd like to sign up. I don't know how much it is right now, but if you'd like to go more in depth with this book, she does have this class, which is fantastic. Open to all other thoughts and questions on the book. We're not even halfway done through the month yet. It's been a fantastic month. I'm thrilled with the engagement that it's getting. And I think that's something that you really wanted to be thoughtful about, Sharon. In my view is that you really want to make sure that not only are you offering an idea, but you're making it so people will engage and want to share in the group, which, like Fran said, it can be scary sometimes, but it's a non-judgmental group we've got, which is a blessing.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody has quite more questions, or just sharing one of the exercises that you liked, if there was a favorite, something that I don't know, something that made a difference.
I'm gonna pick something out here. Let's see. I love what Suzanne said about the thank you. Obviously, that really resonated with people. I don't want to skip ahead because I don't want to give away anything, although I suppose we can. Let's go to day 4 was the say thank you. Oh, day 3. I love day 3. That's practicing good listening, which can be challenging. And so I'm looking at the book on my Kindle here. In the book, it says, practice good listening. Number 1 is let others share first. How did it feel? 2 is make eye contact. What did you notice? 3 is create a welcoming atmosphere to share. How did the person respond? And you created a journaling club prompt to talk about, I'm paraphrasing, but something about how does it feel when others give you their complete attention, right?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't you share a little bit about that?
Well, so the truth is, all these exercises, they were written because they were the ones that spoke to me first. Okay, so this book was really, you get to know me when you see the choices that I chose, the exercises. And this one, full disclosure, this is mine that really I still have so much that I need to continue with listening. I have great eye contact. What happens for me when I listen,
I'm sitting here listening to you as I'm looking at my phone. That's terrible listening, but I am looking for the prompt so I can refer to it.
That's okay. So what I notice for me is, as I'm listening, my heart is open, but my mind is racing to see what I want to say next. I'm hearing the person, and that has been my thing for as long as I can remember, that I really want to change that, to say it is not turn my mind off. If it's supposed to be after they speak, then I will, if it's still there, then I can see if I'm really wanting to share that. But that's my real challenge, and my task is to really be a listener, to really listen. Eye contact's great, but listening without wanting to say something, in between, or, get in there. That's my lesson.
For sure. First of all, I think you're a fabulous listener. If you have to work at it, I would never know it, because I never speak with you, and we speak quite a bit. I never speak with you and think I'm looking at, some people you talk to and you can just tell they're waiting to say the next thing. They're not really listening to you. That's a big pet peeve of mine. But it really is a skill to develop with good listening. But boy, doesn't it, you guys, why don't you share, if you feel like you'd like to share, how does it feel when somebody gives you their undivided attention? When a doctor gives you, really listens to you, how does that feel? And here in this webinar, you can go outside of our regular group rules. Feel free to, talk specifics if you would like to, but boy, that is like the best thing in the world, when you have a doctor who actually listens and hears you. There's listening and hearing, isn't there? It's a totally different thing, but it feels fantastic to feel heard. Somebody have something they want to share? Oh, Anne. Hey, Anne.
Hi.
Hi.
I love my doctor, and that's one of the reasons. He listens well, and he has good things to offer me after he listens to me, and he also takes into consideration what I've said, and he lets me express what I need to express, and also to give my opinions. And he's just wonderful, and I really am grateful to have such a great doctor. He's my primary care.
Wow.
And sometimes others disappoint me, in the medical field, but I always know I can look forward to him really hearing me. And I have another doctor that's basically the same way, although he's too entertaining. The humor, that's why I love to go see him. But it makes all the difference in the world to get somebody that you're comfortable with and that really cares. And that does come from a person's heart. So thanks for letting me add that.
Sure. Thank you
Thank
for that.
you.
What a gift. That is a gift. It can often take people years of going through many doctors to find somebody that they feel is listening to them. I know it has for me.
Yes, because when you've had the other experience, it just makes you really appreciate and have gratitude that much more for those types of physicians. And they're out there, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go through the others and to really find your person.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
Thanks, Anne.
And Anne, good for you for even exploring that more until you found a fit for you. Because sometimes people stay, with the doctor just because that's all they think they can have, so good for you for really.
And it's exhausting trying. It's exhausting. But the flip side of that question too is us feeling heard, but also listening ourselves. How do you go about, you say you work at it, Sharon, how do you go about working on that? You mentioned eye contact.
Oh yeah, for me, eye contact is that I'm good. I got that down. And since you shared that you don't see that, this is good. That I've come a long way with that. So I'm going to hold on to that one. Thank you for that one. Sure. I think I think for me, gratitude, everything about gratitude and the exercise part, it's just being mindful, intentional. Really taking notice. And that's what I do even with the listening. Once I put something in my mind about that I want to do, it starts to take life, so I just kind of, the intention, the noticing is there. And I think that's what's helped me to do it. And because I wanted to. That's the other thing. You got to have you really you have to want to do something. And don't force it, but if it's something I really wanted to do. So that's, I think, what is one of the real keys to it.
It's a beautiful thing. And I think it draws people to us, when they feel like they're really being listened to. It draws people to us, as does an attitude of gratitude. We attract, what do they say? Your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So if you exude gratitude, people naturally well, I shouldn't say most, I'm generalizing. I want to hang around with other grateful people, which is why I like hanging around with you, Sharon, and all of you guys in the group. I'm there to listen, of course, to others who need to vent. And of course, I say this ad nauseum, but venting is a hugely, is that a word? I don't think so. A very big part of healing. We need to share openly and honestly in order to move past it. I get a bit exhausted when people share about the same things over and over and over without any kind of solution in mind. They just like to complain. I think there's a difference between complaining and venting, but scared about a doctor's appointment or a test coming up, surgery, whatever, that needs to be shared. We need to share those fears and all of that. And I think with my work and stuff, I think a lot of people are often afraid to say that stuff with me. They think they can't, which actually is not the case at all. How are you guys with your listening? We'd love to hear from you. Is listening difficult for you? I would find it hard to believe that many people in this group would say that it is, because our group is very different from most. We're a bunch of empaths who often care more about each other's feelings than we do our own. And is your hand still raised? Did you want to say something else? Nope. I'm thinking. All right, I'm going to lower your hand then, but if you want to say anything else, please feel free. Yeah, that was a really good prompt about listening. Did the coin one yet? I think we did, right?
Oh, no, we haven't talked about that one.
Oh, okay. Spoiler alert. Where is that one? That one it's coming up.
It's day 3, maybe 3 or 4. It's after the listening.
Oh, make someone's day, right?
Yes.
No,
I think
that's a different one. I want to talk about that one too. Well, there's one. Gosh, I thought it was. I know I did the graphic for it. You've got one where it talks about you.
Oh, I got it. It's October the 8th, giving and receiving.
Oh, okay. So we did do this one.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, we've done it in the group. We hadn't talked about it. That's what I.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I thought this is such a clever one in the book. You say, drop a few coins on the ground for someone to find. You talk about, sharing your experience. How did it feel? And then you go on to say, or leave a few coins in a vending machine, newspaper stand, in a mailbox, office drawer, countertop, jacket pocket, or common area for someone to find. Such a clever and cute idea, and so simple, but you also tailored it for us, knowing that not everybody can go out and leave coins. So why don't you share with us your thoughts on that?
So let's see. Yes, because I said how. Okay, yeah. So this one, this one was, I loved it, and I really did it because every time I used to find coins on the ground, it just made me smile. I loved it. I just and I felt more abundant and all these things. It just really made my day. But the truth of it also is when I first started out, I felt uncomfortable dropping the coins. I was really shy about it. I'll never forget that. It took me a little while to kind of get really comfortable. And I was looking around to see, did anybody see me drop the coin? And I had all those things kind of going on, but very quickly, probably day 2, or maybe after 5 coin drops, then I was golden. Then it didn't bother. I loved it. I could just totally get into it. but it's just something that I love, because it was like giving back to the world without people knowing, you know, who gave it. So I love that piece. And because when I wrote in my journal, in the journaling part, that I shared about feeling uncomfortable at first. And then also I shared one day I went out for a walk and I found like 7 pennies, like within inches of each other. And when that happens, and that wasn't the first time, that's happened before, but I always go in my mind to think about, you've heard of the pennies from heaven, when people who have passed, that they always say that when you find pennies, they're saying hello. The people.
I've never heard that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a poem and everything about that. Look up pennies from heaven. And
Okay.
so when I see that many, what's so fun about that is I took a picture of it one time, and then I just thought of 7 people who I know who are in heaven that were there to say hello for me.
Hmm.
It was really cool. Yeah.
Very cool. Kind of like the kindness rocks exercise that a lot of people do. And please, guys, if you have any thoughts, you know, whether it's a penny or not, if you've left something for someone, if you've paid for somebody in line behind you at McDonald's, the toll of the person behind you, or if you're on the receiving end and this has happened with you, found a kindness rock or pennies, please, we'd love to hear from you. But it's a beautiful gesture and simple.
Yeah, I'd be curious what people thought of the exercise, if they did it, how they felt about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the day here. I don't want to, she's not here, but one of the comments is, I always leave a quarter in the slot of the cart for the next person at Aldi. So Aldi is a grocery store where the prices are inexpensive. So I think in order to do that, they have less people working there. And so to get a cart, if I'm not mistaken, to get a cart, you need to put a quarter in and you probably get it back at the end. But so she writes, I leave a quarter on the in slot for the person next to Aldi. And then she wrote, I just know at some point I will arrive. There will be no coins, and I hope some good Samaritan helps me. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that one.
Suzanne, you've got your hand raised. You there, Suzanne? Okay, whenever you're on mute, I don't know if you know that. Let me ask you to unmute and see if that helps.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
I'm
now we
so
can hear
sorry.
you. That's okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. But since we've moved here to Florida, we have found Aldi's, and it is so much fun to take quarters and just stick in those little slots of the grocery carts, because some people will look in their, in their pocket. Oh no, I don't have a quarter. And so when they see that quarters are already in their shopping carts, I know that's little. And I do have to share that I always dreamed when I moved here, I would paint rocks. We're only 15 minutes from the beach, and to go and put rocks around and make people's day happy. But I'm just the worst artist ever in the whole wide world. And so being on your site, Lauren, has given me the feeling that you don't have to be the best. You put attitude of gratitude, here I go again crying, in everything that you do, and people will feel it. So I've got my rocks back and I've got my paint, and so it may not be a Van Gogh, but it certainly will hopefully put a smile on somebody's face. So
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, Suzanne, where in Florida did you move to? I've been in Florida. I used to be in Florida my whole life. Just curious.
Oh, well, thank you. I can't say that enough.
Oh, that's good. So, and the other thing I wanted to say, I'm good for you about the doing the rocks. I'll have to post on one of them when it comes to an area that I had never done it before, and I did some rocks, and they're very simple. And I gave them some to my parents, but I lived in St. Petersburg, and so I did a lot of rocks. And there's a lot in Florida, I guess, because the weather is better. You know, you could have more of a chance for people to find rocks, and they don't go. You know, you're not in snow. So I think there's usually even groups that do it. It's amazing. And
Yeah,
one last
it's a
thing I want
whole,
to share.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So
No,
one last thing I
please.
want to share, and this is going to be a video that I'm going to share today at some point. But yesterday, I'm in Colorado, and I was out running. And when I came back from my run, I was walking. I go this route all the time, and there was a kindness bucket, and there were rocks in there. And I found this awesome rock that I chose, and I'm going to do a video on it. I haven't gotten a rock in a long time, and I love them. I love collecting rocks. Yeah.
It's such a clever idea. I think some woman, I'm going to get this wrong, but some woman started it many years ago, and she has a website. I want to say it's like kindnessrocks.com or something. And it really took off. It is such a clever idea. And I found one once. It was on a beach vacation. I found one, and I did feel like a rock star, and it wasn't a Van Gogh. And Suzanne, I am totally with you. And I'm glad that you said you've realized through the site you don't need to, because I've had some artists on who talk about you don't need to be artistic, you just need to express yourself. And it really is, as cheesy as it sounds, it's the thought that counts. You know that somebody put thought into that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just, in the chat, gang, I just put a link to Sharon's website, gratisize365.com. If you're not aware, where are they? Where are they? Oh, here they are. If you're not aware, she's also the person who invented these.
Oh, the
gratitude
mine on.
glasses, which I know many of you have. I give
Yeah.
these away to as so many gifts to people, all the wonderful fellow gratitude spreaders that I've been privileged to meet in person. Yeah, you can find those on her website as well. Sharon's one of those people that doesn't just talk the talk, she really walks the walk. And as wonderful as it is that she tailor-made these prompts for us based on her book, the fact that she's engaging with everybody just speaks volumes to me. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. I'd love to hear thoughts on that as well. But what you see is what you get with Sharon, that beaming smile and that attitude of gratitude really is her. In the chat, Kirsten says, I've started sharing jams and cookies with my neighbors, kind of knock and run. It makes me smile knowing that will bring someone joy. What a cute idea.
That's great.
That's really special. You know, giving, as we get older, giving feels better than receiving. Often I find, you know, when you're a kid and it's the holidays, you're opening gifts on your birthday or whatever, it's all about me, 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 me. And then you get to a certain point and you just can't wait to give away. And I think that's why AoG is so special, is because we really care about each other. I'm amazed every single day when I do a welcome post and we welcome the new members that I let in each morning. And the thread is so long of our members welcoming people. I've seen other groups and they're not like that. It's like crickets chirping, but we really welcome people with open arms, and it just speaks volumes about the people that we have here in AoG. You guys are pretty special.
Yeah.
Any questions for Sharon? We have about 10 more minutes. We have a lot of great prompts coming up. Let's look at let's look at day 5. What was 5? In the book, it's called Find It, and you talk about venturing out, find a new place to walk, run, ride your bike, or meditate. This one you definitely did tailor for us because you realize that not all of us can get out. Let's see what you wrote. What would it feel like to find a new place to walk, drive to, meditate, take pictures of, etc.? describe this place that you already have or would like to find. Again, I so appreciate the fact that you had all of us in mind with this, because we never want to focus on, the fact that we can't get out.
Well, sure. I think, and again, I keep saying about, when we have that gratitude mindset, when we, you naturally come to those places. How can I bring everybody in without even seeing anything, without just how do I bring everybody in?
Mm-hmm.
And the way that came to me on that one was, so somebody could perhaps have some drive or have someone drive them. That's one thought. But then even taking, people can go through the internet or wherever and find pictures of something that really resonates, that really makes them smile or just makes them feel good, or those kind of things. And a gratitude person, to me, it comes easy, because you're feeling, your heart is open, you're more thoughtful, you think more. And I thought I was really good at it, but gratitude has brought me even better with it, of just really immediately thinking of those things without even, it just comes. And I think a lot of people could say the same thing. I know you could, Laura.
Did somebody want to say something?
I find that I'm enjoying like other people's vacations, that I'm not jealous of them.
Wow.
I'm like, that is so cool that, you are in Europe. I'm still in the States watching your dogs, but I am like, I'm learning along with, and my brother-in-law is so good at describing where they're at. They're very much into science and history, so they went to like Darwin's house and all of these places. And I just find when I'm sad, I go on a couple of websites that are like, I love Lake Superior, and they have a number of web, or not websites, Facebook pages of people that take pictures of Lake Superior. And I'd love to be there, but I can't be there, so I can enjoy the pictures.
That's amazing, Kathy. And I don't know if you were like that before joining AoG, but it can be, when you are injured or get sick or whatever, it can be a lot of us versus them thinking, and we can get angry and resentful that we can't be in Europe and they're stuck watching the dogs. That's amazing that you can open your heart to be happy for somebody else and even experience it through them.
Yeah, I ended up like getting to a point where I was just tired of being curled up in my bed, sad, looking at the walls, It's like, yeah, I can sit and wish all I want, but I'm not experiencing anything besides my bed and the walls, or or just, my yard or my house. But it's crazy how you get in this rut. And well, your post about there, when I was talking about there with my counselor, it's like, well, how come we're so self-destructive? How come we get in this place that we can't get out of?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry. And that just being that down just made it so I wanted to reach out. It was like I tried it the other way.
Yeah.
I tried it that way. It really sucked. So let's try something different.
Yeah, because being resentful and angry isn't going to change our circumstance, unfortunately, so it's really just making our pain worse. And I'm not necessarily saying the physical, but our emotional pain worse. Anger is such a heavy weight on us, and resentment and all that. So yeah, that's amazing. Julia has something here. I used to watch traveling shows and it felt like I have been there. Also, my sister just went to Greece and she kept sending me and my parents pictures that I felt like I didn't even need to go there. Also, I am thankful not to have the hassle of traveling. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, that acceptance that, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have the money to go there. Traveling causes me pain, but hey, I could do it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sharon,
it's
did you have
such
something you
our
want to add?
world is, our world, we have so much access to seeing all over the world through pictures and videos and people visiting. We never I mean, I didn't have that, this is all new with the internet and how much we have to see what we can see. Yeah, that's really great. I
A
love
couple
that.
of years ago, somebody sent me a link. Heidi, for some reason, I feel like it was you. There's like live cams of a lot of the places throughout the world where you can view them. Heidi, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was you. I'll see if I can find it. I don't know. It was a couple of years ago, but it was really kind of cool that you get to experience these things live right through your computer.
Wow.
I'll see if I can find it. I'll post it in the group later. Anne, you've got your hand raised.
I wanted to say how wonderful Kathy Garrett is for taking care of a dog, because we love our animals, and you are wonderful to do that. I know you made a little joke about it. And yes, there are times when it can be rough. I'm sure I've taken care of dogs before. I have a dog now, and we still want to try to go a little ways, but you always have to consider the pup, and what we'll do this weekend is take him with us and just go to one day in the mountains and have a picnic, and he'd be with us because he's a little poodle. So thank you, Kathy. You are wonderful, I think.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
And sometimes
just-
watching the dog is more exhausting than traveling to Greece.
Yeah, I know it has its moments. It can, depends on a really sweet dog, but I know that I talked to a person just yesterday and she loves her dog. In fact, she takes care of dogs that's how she makes some of her living. But her big dog has some type of gastro problem going on. She
Oh
said,
no.
wouldn't believe how I've had to run around with my vacuum clean, carpet cleaner. And then my daughter had her dog, who was a Great Dane lab mix, and when he was getting toward the end of his life, those kind of things were an issue. So I just think, though, it's wonderful that people will help out with those situations, because you have to, when you have a dog you love, that factors in to whatever you do. I just think it's great for somebody like Kathy to help out with that.
Very
So
generous.
I want to say thank you, Kathy.
Aw,
Thank you. That gives me a huge smile. And actually, yesterday I met one of my sister's colleagues, and I'm going to be watching her. What is it? It's some kind of a spaniel poodle mix. And I just love dogs, and it gives me so much joy. And she liked me right away. And I spent like 2 hours at their house getting to know the dog. And so now I'm doing some dog sitting for even strangers, that by word of mouth.
well, what a great way to flip the script and turn, what could be resentment into a positive, and doing service work. You guys know I'm a big fan of service work. So thank you. Julia has put a couple links in the chat. One's called windowswap.com, and the other's The Verge, Windows, Worldviews, Project Travel. Thank you, Julia. So if you guys go into the chat, she's got a couple links. I'm sure those are the links. Maybe it was you that originally sent them to me, Julia. We haven't, we're actually at 2:00, but we can do another couple minutes if people want to add in, your thoughts on the project so far, and words for Sharon, whatever you would like. We can keep it open for another couple minutes. Thank you we really didn't want this to just be the Lauren and Sharon show. We really wanted to incorporate you guys. So thank you for not only being here, but for for adding your thoughts if you had any. I hope you've been enjoying it. We've got some good ones coming up. I know I've been making the graphics. There's one about being thankful for the water. Spoiler alert, but you talk about being grateful for water, for drinking, bathing, washing your hands. These are the types of things you talk about in your book that often we take for granted, Anne, you have some final words for us?
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for you and Sharon today, giving us a chance to listen to good things and to talk with other great women. And I do think the exercises are great. And if I can figure it out, I'm going to try to find out more about this 28-day with Sharon, what she offers. And I would just want to say that I have looked, I think, about every day. I don't always respond, but it is a great thing to be able to share. And they are great prompts to get you thinking and writing. And so I'm glad to be here. And I just say thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you, Anne. The thing that I found also with the exercises, and I shared this, I don't know if I shared it here, you'll be surprised as once you do the exercise, how so many times it stays with you and you don't even have to think about it anymore. That is another really great thing that I have experienced, and I think you all may see that as well. The other thing is to, as I'm hearing all of you share, and I don't know how long you've been in the AoG, but it's to really notice when you're in a state of gratitude, the things that are going to be starting to come easier to you, of people, of you don't know anything in your life. There are things that start coming to you to make life a little bit easier, a little bit, people are coming, I don't know, like the trips, the dogs, the different way of your seeing of travel, and you can not feel the jealous, all those things. The big thing is thank you, gratitude, because it really does make that shift.
Does. And Sharon and I were talking before this. We both watched Oprah Winfrey had a special live stream on yesterday. She had a guest. She asked me, but I turned her down. But it was on gratitude, and she talked about how gratitude feeds breeds gratitude, and the more you practice it, and that's why we call it a practice, the more you practice it, you really do, your eyes are open to things that you ordinarily don't see. So it's a beautiful thing. Kirsten says, gratitude has been life-changing for me, thanks to the group and all the wonderful people you introduce us to. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Kirsten. So Sharon, thank you so much for being here. Oh, Linda has another comment. Thank you so much. This has been wonderful. Thank you both for taking the time to do this. You're welcome, Linda. Thank you so much for being here with us. It's been a special treat to have you here with the Journaling Club.
Oh, it's been so wonderful. I can't tell you how much I love hearing everyone sharing and what they get out of it, and I always learn from all these talks too, because it's all in the sharing where we learn so much and really get a lot of appreciation, and I really appreciate all of you. Thank you. And we've got two more weeks to go.
Yeah,
we got a lot more fun and good stuff coming.
Good stuff, very good stuff. Hang on, one more comment. Sharon and Lauren, can you maybe speak on being grateful for your body, being able to do stuff for you like vision, hearing, walking, and etc. And then if you say thank you, body, for not having a flare today, then suddenly you may have a flare. I feel like sometimes I better not say thank you to my body, or else body might fail. Maybe there's another way to look at this. Let me just read this again. There's a lot in there. Grateful for your body, being able to do, like in the main group, when we do our daily questions that Linda posts, I've created these questions that instead of focusing on what abilities we don't have, we focus on the abilities that we do have. we can't really talk about not having a flare today because that's a bit more specific than we get. So it looks like you're thinking that if you say thank you to your body, you're thinking you might jinx yourself. Is that right, Julia? Maybe there's another way to look at this. Body scan meditations, I'm sure you're familiar with these, Sharon. Body scan meditations are kind of, isolating our body parts, and instead of thinking our whole body's in pain, we can actually be more in connection with the things that, well, we connect with what is in pain, but we connect with what's not in pain. But I haven't made the graphics too far ahead. Do we talk about body at all in the book?
I don't, I think we will be getting there. But one thought that comes to my mind is, I found that if you could, I don't know if you do affirmations, but working with
We have an
that a little bit
affirmations club, actually.
really is to create an affirmation for you that you can believe around your body and around all of that. And when you can believe it, then you can use the word thank you. It's really, I think that's would be helpful. And you'll have to play with that to feel what really resonates for you, that you can say thank you after that.
Good idea. That negativity bias that is in all of us always. We could have 10 body parts that are working great, and then one that's not. And we're of course going to focus on the one that's not, because it hurts. We really struggle with the pain, so it can be difficult to say I'm grateful that my nose doesn't hurt today. But it works. The more you practice it, the more that stuff comes to the forefront, and we can actually, if you go on my Gratitude Addict, the public Facebook page, I posted a video by Breathworks Vidyamala Birch, who does mindfulness-based stress reduction for chronic pain, and we've had her on the broadcast. She talks about when you are practicing mindfulness. She didn't say gratitude, but I think mindfulness and gratitude often go hand in hand. When you focus on that rather than projecting into what might hurt, we can actually respond in the moment rather than reacting to something that we are experiencing. So it's a great doodle video, very cute to watch. I didn't put it in the main group because it's a bit more. She talks about some medications and stuff, which obviously I couldn't put in there, but I would recommend that. Her work is great for that kind of things, and she lives with chronic pain herself.
Lauren, I'm sorry. I went back to the what our exercise was.
Yep.
It was describe one action that your body did for you today, and then write thank you.
Perfect.
So that would be cool, because it's about waiting to see what action your body did for you, that you could then say thank you. I did switch. I definitely changed it up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So once you see, that would be that could fulfill that affirmation, because once you do that action, it's affirming to thank that action that it did for you. And I know that when my post, I had forgotten all the things that I did in such a short time to thank, and I usually don't even think about what my body does, all the action. Right. So I think that would be helpful to find that action that you've done, and perhaps that one you can say thank you.
And Julie says, I like that reframe. Thanks. Kathy, is that you who was chiming in?
Yeah, I did an exercise with the Mayo Clinic and the Fairview Pain Program where you start with a part of your body that doesn't hurt, whether it's your big toe or whatever, and you tense and relax that, and then go to the other side, and then just work your whole body. It does some kind of retraining in your brain to teach the part that doesn't hurt, teaches the other part that does hurt how to relax.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Is there a link that we can look at that has that, or was that like a private thing that you did?
That was a private counseling. Okay. But there might be a link somewhere. Right. I don't know.
Well, thank you. That's all great. Thank you all so much. This has been exceeded my expectations, but I'm not surprised because it's always good with you, Sharon, and I can't thank you enough again for, you know, gifting us with your special prompts for us this month.
Oh, thank you. I mean, it just made my day. You know, if I've always said if people get, and I've heard many things here, but if they only had one thing that they got from this whole workout, but I love it when I hear the different things that the people have talked about today. It's made my day. So thank you.
You're welcome. I love hearing it too. Julia is asking, where'd you say the doodle video is? It is, I'll share it with everybody. It's on my public Facebook page, not my personal one, but I have a public Facebook page, Gratitude Addict. So I just put the link to it in the group. You can find it on there. So thank you everybody for being here. If you're watching the recording, thank you also. I hope you got something out of it. Appreciate you guys spending a little over an hour with us. And Sharon, I hope you come back and do something like this for us again in the future.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I will try to put the recording up in the group a bit later. Julia's got a heart there. So if you want to rewatch anything, you'll be able to. And we will see you soon. Sharon, thank you so much. We've still got more than half of the month to go, and we're excited to do that. So thank you everybody for being here. It was wonderful.
Thank you all.